Um, there's some other stuff I wanted to talk about. So I guess we're in DEFCON 3, and that there's military bombings and stuff going on in Iraq and Iran of our bases or something. And they're also in a big mission where they're cleaning out the tunnels over there. So, I mean, all of this stuff, there's always so much misleading and so much distraction. Like they'll do something and say they're doing something different. They'll leave out parts they're really doing and you should look over here because this is what they're doing. And it's just blah, 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 blah. So, and then plus in this time of, these two opposing forces, like with these undercover agents, I keep getting this vision of, in movies when, they'll be doing something and then all of a sudden they tear off their mask off their face and it's someone else underneath that tricked you and stuff like that. That's what I keep feeling is about to go on. Like all of a sudden, all of these politicians will be standing there, like all of them guns pointed on each other and pull off the mask. And it was somebody else, some of the people may even be the person who is wearing a mask, maybe someone else is wearing a mask of them. I mean, it's so outrageous and it's so crazy. And you don't know who's good and who's bad and what part they're playing and how this is all going to play out. But we know that it's leading to something really big. The big flip of the switch has got to happen to wake everybody up. And so, I mean, we got to be super close because I personally think it's definitely going to have something to do with death. It's going to be that Hawaii moment where they had 10 minutes or whatever to live. That's what I think is going to be. I think that was like the beta test. How's this work? And now it's going to be on a grand scale because, yeah, people really will see things a lot differently. And my friend who has the little farm, well, I guess they've just been notified that the government is taking 30% of all the farmland now, just taking it. I guess they'll maybe pay him or something because her husband is deep in the brainwash. He really thinks that guy is voted in. Oh, stuff is so crazy. But so he's excited. This is how we sold ourselves out to corporate America. Like, oh, we could get rich too. We could have a little something. Oh, okay, let's do it. That's how they got, that's why they got Walmart for us to shop at. So, now what was I gonna say? Oh, so they're gonna come in and take the land, which I've been saying all the time about this, all the stuff, the gun, the food stuff, all of it. I mean, look at the food they give us already, covered in poisons and stuff like that. Then they want to get it to where they're the only ones that are the producers of our food. A farm, it can no longer, you're going to take almost half of its income. Farms aren't, the people out there becoming billionaires. They're the people who give they're like the ligaments of our country, they hold us together. They're something that is the structure that we're based on. So yeah, and they've already been messing with them before. Again, bankrupted them all. Now, you can go back in and look up about Farm Aid and stuff. It was a while back, but it was a really big thing. Now they're going to take their land, and I just told my daughter's fretting over something that could happen maybe years from now with somebody, in our family or something, with their health and stuff. And I'm just like, you've got to stop with the what ifs. I'm saying this to everybody. You've got to stop with the what ifs. What if, what if, what if? Don't give that stuff energy. You don't want to, you can create that timeline. You're going to stress and stress and stress about, you don't want this to happen. You don't want that to happen. You'll make it happen. You'll put yourself in that timeline so your soul can have that experience. So if you're constantly got to be pulling that stuff towards you, and what if it's also something good and you just wasted how long stressing about it, giving energy to that, creating that, it's unproductive. And anyways, and I'll say it to you as I said to her, you got to get focused on what is happening currently, especially if you don't, like I'm talking to somebody who doesn't know, but like we will end up, if they take control, it won't just be poison garbage that they're feeding us. I mean, some of this stuff, there will also, it would be too expensive. Most of us won't be able to afford it. Most of us would starve or be homeless, and they want to get it to where you don't own anything, because right now when they want to go door to door and make us come and take these, well, when I was on Twitter, and I talked about it before, once I had switched over, once I saw T-Rump for who he was and saw really what was going on, saw through the illusion, then I became a supporter of his. Before that, I was a liberal, progressive, rat race person, just like the rest of them. And I talked snotty to him. I said shitty things to him. I keep feeling like there's something in my eye. I can't. It's just such a blur. I have no idea. And so when I was mean to him on Twitter and would say snotty things to him, that was acceptable. I think you could threaten his life on there and it wouldn't matter. I think, you could say whatever. It was perfectly fine. But then once I started supporting him, and I started saying good things about him, like I would go in and thank him when he would do something and say positive things like that, well, I got kicked off. Then, it was just a warning. And it was crazy because my comment, I was watching it, and I think it's like when something goes viral, it just starts going really fast. And you start getting likes, share. And it was doing that. And then all of a sudden it went off. And this was on a comment to Trump. All of a sudden it went off, it disappeared. And then I got notified that I was kicked off Twitter. So I saw the game they're playing. And then once they let me back on, then I continued to see, like I'd have people, like they would repress my stuff or something. I don't know how they do it all. But I would have somebody say, I went in to like something of yours and it was on 2,000 and it went back to 0 immediately. And I said, well, I know they're doing that to my stuff. And they came, the Secret Service came to my house. And this is what I'm getting to, why they don't want us to own things. Because they came, and I have all the way back, if you look, like across the street, way over there, that little, it's not little, it's really big, this red and white house across the street. Well, all of this, my yard is like a forest in the front, and then I've gated it all the way out to the road, so you can't step into my property off the road. And so the Secret Service, they had to stay out there, they couldn't come in. And after, that all happened, I started thinking about that, because they didn't even try. They didn't even try and cross in. And I was thinking, that is, it's private property, that they can't just come in, like they have to have warrants and stuff like that if the police want to bust through. And so, like if they want to come door to door, like they couldn't. Like if you went out, no matter if you just have a little yard, as long as you own it. See, that's why they don't want us to own anything. Because when you own it, they've got a corrupt judicial. They could do whatever they want, but as a roadblock to their corrupt system. If you have a fence that goes all the way out and takes your whole property, every bit of your property. I'm sure I have inches and feet that is not, but, that I don't have covered, like it's back from the street a little, but, as much as you can, blockade, like your own fortress, because I get now why the whole thing with the fortresses and stuff. When I moved to Washington State, coming from Southern California and going out there and being right next to North Idaho, there was even standoffs there. Like, I had no idea. Like, that's a place where a lot of people go who want to get away from the government, and they go out because you can go out in the mountains and trees there, and you can basically just disappear. And they have fortresses out there, and they have, that's where they get those ideas of compounds. So they have compounds out there. And it was always said, when you're out there driving around, you got to be careful, because don't go off any main roads, because it's real easy to turn into a compound and you'll get shot. And so anyways, that is the whole thing why they don't want us to own anything, because they can't just come up here and give me one of these. So they want us to own nothing. They want to take away the farmland. They've got to control, old Gator Boy, he's bought all that farmland. That's going to go back to the people. But still, you got to see their plan so you can see what's going on. And so they want to do the control of the food, which would be Soylent Green, by the way. I mean, we've already had that going. If people don't, if you think that you have never had anything that is human that you've eaten, you're wrong. They put it in our food. I just saw a thing. It was totally different. I watched those crime stories and stuff. And this was a serial killer, and he had a pig farm. So he was taking prostitutes and he was slaughtering them. This isn't the only one. I've heard of this several times. It just wasn't like when I very first thought, I was like, oh, it must be the same story. No, it's like the third one of these I've heard of. These pig farmers go mental and start slaughtering people. The dogs are on the move. And just a minute, I got to finish this. And when he would kill him, whatever, all the gross stuff he had left, well, there's a place that you go down to as a meat grinder place, whatever it is that they do, that you take the leftover gross stuff. And so he would take all those leftover body parts and stuff like that down there, and then they would just grind it up with the rest of the stuff, and they make some sort of gelatin. And this gelatin is used in our foods, in our makeup, in our fingernail. Oh, but that was just one serial killer. I mean, we are living in a planet that 1% of the people are serial killers. So they're feeding us ourselves. The Soylent Green thing is real. I mean, it's real. Like, they aren't going to just go out there and grow you some fresh veggies and try and get you healthy. That's not their plan. So yeah, the plan is just take that away from the people, take away what they have. We've already seen them strip small businesses. They took away people's livelihood. We just witnessed that. Now they're taking away, and I just talked about this. Now they're taking away, they want to take away the guns, but they're taking away the property so the people we can't take care of ourselves. They want us to get, not have houses. It's too much a burden. Yeah, you don't need that. No, just let the government give you housing. No, and when I was in England, I don't know if it's still the same, and I was very young, remember, when I was living there, and it was only for a few months, but I was at someone's house, and they were telling me, because if they wanted to move, they had to get the government's permission to move, and it was kind of like housing, like here. So I don't know if they were on housing or if all people there are on housing, and it's all like government controlled housing there. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if it's changed. I know they're under some severe attacks right now, and the whole good news to me is that if we do get that 10-minute warning that it's on its way, that we can rest assured that good things are, that we're about to swing back the other way. And one thing, too, I just want to end this with, because I was thinking about this yesterday, because, what if the government would have been honest? What if they would have said, like, hey, people, you know, we're really involved with aliens. We're in this cosmic cycle. We're about to go to a cataclysmic event. See, I don't know. I kind of think she's in pain. She does not want to be fucked with by Trixie. What if they said there's about to be a cataclysm? People wouldn't have mass panic. They wouldn't be like, oh, well, I'm going to go get my Bible. And, you know, I mean, there would be some, but people would be in a mass panic. They wouldn't be able to think. So, you know, there's some things I don't know that they could be honest with the whole time. But now, you know, the truth is coming out. And we're getting a lot of disclosure and stuff like that. But the main thing is you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to anybody. But it also includes, you know, I mean, religion. You've got to look at all this stuff for yourself, figure it out for yourself. Because right now, most people are just a bunch of brainwashed cattle. And, you know, we were being set up for slaughter. You know, and there's a lot of people right now who are going to wake up in the mouth of the beast, and they're not even going to know that there was a problem because they're worrying about stuff that, what if, maybe, could happen sometime down the line, instead of being present and being aware of what's happening currently. So yeah, that's the problem with awareness. So yeah, if you don't know what's going on currently, you should probably have some awareness of what's going on, because there is stuff happening, and we are, I mean, I don't know. Anything that you go in and say, like, you could just go back and forth on things, you know, is it good? Is it bad? Is it good to know? Is it bad to know? You know, it just is, it's individual. It's what you do with your information. It's how you function, you know. I want to know what's going on. I have a strong inside signal that tells me when something's off, when something's not right. And I have to listen to that signal. And yeah. So anyways, hopefully that we do get our 10-minute warning soon, and, you know, we can get out of this. The boomerang is going to turn around and come back. The pendulum has gone so far one direction. It has to swing back. And yeah, so I don't know. I feel hopeful knowing that the DEF CON thing and all of the explosions and stuff that are going on over there. So, and I think it's, oh, and one other thing too, is I feel, and maybe I already said this, I don't know. I may say the same thing just over and over. I don't know. That's the problem of a brain injury. But somebody, you know, all these, a bunch of videos popped up today. And so I was watching some, and they, it seems that, because before, when I talked about a long time ago on YouTube, you could go in and you could get all sorts of information. 2020, will you stop, please? 2020, they started doing the censorship and started taking people's channels away from them. And a lot of these people were established channels that was their job. That's how they made their money, to pay their bills. So they took these people's channels away from them. And these people have had to go out and try and start, you know, their own other websites, platforms all over the place. So they're still out there speaking, but, you know, it's harder to find them unless you're really in that kind of, that patriot movement. And I know that's just part, I know that's just part of the system that's breaking. It's just one of the systems that's breaking. But yeah, there's a lot of people focused on it. And I do like to hear what they're saying, because that does show us, like, in our climate of change, you know, where are we in this storm? So the people are still out there talking, but they're just not so mainstream, like you can just go on and listen to them and be in chats with everybody and stuff like that. But somebody is going in and getting their videos off of these, and then all of a sudden posting them on YouTube. and they say truth. Like, you know, I don't know how long they stay up because they say words that you're not allowed to say. They give information you're not allowed to spread. So, when I was seeing all these, I was just like, huh, that's so weird. Like, who's doing this? Could it be the Alliance? Could it be the good guys that are just keep on messing with them and getting this stuff and putting it back out there to try and make sure that as many people can see it as possible? I know they're in a huge thing of trying to get as many people woke up. I know there has to be, it's something about the military is watching to see, you know, they watch all our social medias and stuff to see, like, how are we feeling? Are we willing to, you know, see the truth? Are we ready for the truth yet? And when it gets to be like 80% of the people who seem fed up with what's going on, which to me, I can't even wrap my head around that we are not at 80% by now. It's like, oh my gosh, that right there confirms to me what different realities we all live in. Because my reality is, oh yeah, I was 100% in fucking year ago. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how anybody can live this life that they are presenting to us and not question it. So I don't know. I just was asking somebody a whole bunch of questions like that. Like, you know, what do you question? Who you are? What's your place in the world? Like, you gotta ask these questions, you guys. You just gotta, you know? It's just part of being. You gotta figure it out. So, okay, we'll see. You know, things are happening. Talk to you later. Bye.